reselling enough product to pay for my ticket to Japan. So in base terms, what this series is going to be about is I'm going to be doing these on a weekly basis, and I'm going to be updating of the things I've gotten throughout the week and hoping to eventually resell them. So I guess we will just kind of like an overview of what I've gotten throughout the week. I really find these videos entertaining, little inventory updates kind of deal, and these things will go into inventory eventually. I think doing these is kind of cool because I like to go down memory lane, and that's exactly what this first product is plug-in plays. So when I was a kid growing up, I had a SpongeBob one. This one was a Batman one, but I also got 3 other ones. We got a Thomas the Train one and a Designer's World one. And it's funny enough because my wife actually had this growing up. So I got all 3 of these for a total of $10 between all of the places I got them. We'll get this big one out of the way. I'm a huge fan of the GameCube, but we got these on 2 separate listings. We got this guy for $20. No cables, no controllers, no memory cards. The disk drive doesn't work, but this thing can be modded. It does turn on. And then we got this separated for $30. The Game Boy player, in my opinion, is a very, very good attachment. But you need to really mess with a lot of settings, and in my opinion, never is there a need to buy the $200 disc. We'll start off with these sealed games that I got. I got these from Walmart. I was getting groceries with my family, and I saw these in the section. I had to pick them up. Got Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga for $14 on the PS4. However, this was later for free on Epic. And the other items I got 2 copies of Illusion Island for $22 each. And because you're already holding Switch games, I'll hold this one up. I got this for $20 as well. This one was a little bit of a weird one, and I'm not entirely sure why these were bundled at all together. But I got Lego Lord of the Rings and a sealed structure deck of Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm not sure what this goes for. This goes for more than $5. I'm sure this, again, being sealed, goes for more than $5. So even if I get like 10, 15 out of it, this was all like extra. I was really only going for this Lego Lord of the Rings copy. And then also we found a copy of Doom 3 for the original Xbox. I got a N64 at a Value Village with the power brick. It does work. No AV out, unfortunately, but I have a bunch of spares, which is just fine. It doesn't have the expansion cover. I will have to get this 3D printed or find a spare. But I got this for $20 untested. Very weird because this was here and I was like, I'm just gonna go test it. And it worked just fine. I got a copy of SpongeBob Typing. I don't know anything about this at all, but I paid $3 for it, so I couldn't really pass it up. It's a SpongeBob game. I have a soft spot in my heart for SpongeBob, and then because we're on the SpongeBob topic, I got SpongeBob Lights Camera Pants for the the PC, for the computer. And the main reason why I got this is not because of reselling value, is because the game is completely different from any Lights Camera Pants that I've played. Growing up, this is actually one of my favorite games. Looking at the back of it, it is that classic point and click SpongeBob computer games from the mid to later 2000s. That SpongeBob had this weird point and click kind of adventure style, and it's nothing related to the Lights Camera Pants games from the consoles. So I think if anything, I will probably play it myself. And while I was also there, I got a shirt, a Zelda the Wind Waker shirt. This shirt is super cool, and yeah, I actually really like this shirt, but unfortunately I'm gonna resell it, as well as like bigger product collectibles and whatnot. I am trying to go into clothing a little bit more. I've gotten a little bit into it, but I'm trying to dive into like everything. So with that being said, clothing is one of them. So I went into a pawn shop. I don't really go into pawn shops very often, but when I went into this one, there was a clearance sale on a bunch of video games. I guess he was trying to strafe away from video games. He doesn't really want to keep going into them. He thinks there's a dying market. I don't think that's the case, but regardless, I got this copy of Guitar Hero 2 complete for $5, and then I also got this copy of Super Mario. You can't even see it. You can't even see it. That's fine. Super Mario RPG for $25, and then he just bundled it all for $25. I didn't ask. I don't know why he did that, but he's like, I'll just do $25. I'm like, okay. So I put it in here just to remind myself of that situation. But yeah, that was super funny, considering Super Mario RPG at the time that I bought this, you know, like it's a relatively new game. So it's weird that A, there's cartridge only, but also B, that he reduced it to that much on its own. Okay, so for this next item I'm going to be talking about, it was probably the weirdest interaction I've ever had reselling. For starters, I was talking to this guy and we came to a conclusion of a couple items that I wanted, and when I reached this house, there was some weird packaging. So what we came to is, again, this is where the weirdest part is, trading the Sonic Heroes I already had listed for these 5 games. Okay, and we'll start off with, we'll go from the bottom and go upwards. So I got a disc copy of Just Dance 22 in a DVD case. This was in a Blu-ray case in the picture. This was a loose disc, but it's a Left 4 Dead game copy in an Xbox One destroyed case. Final Fantasy X, I thought, he said he had a manual, it doesn't, which is, sucks. A complete copy of Trash Pack, which isn't the most expensive game. But the real winner here was a legitimate copy of Pokemon Silver for the Game Boy Color. I slapped my own label onto it because, just so I know what it actually is. There is no original sticker, but it is an authentic copy where the battery's been changed. Again, this alone is quadruple of what I traded for, not including these other games. Not entirely sure why we came to that, but nonetheless, it worked out for both of us. He got what he wanted. I got, I guess, more than what I wanted, so whatever the case may be. Because we have the DS games out, I'm going to show another DS copy that I got. I got 2 games for the Nintendo DS. I got these for $5 a piece, and they should do relatively well. Another weird post that I interacted with that I'm probably going to have to start saving in the future because, again, these posts are very weird, was this girl, and she was selling games for her daughter. And not entirely sure why she had these, like this at least. So there was a total of 5 games, and there was 1 copy of Call of Duty Black Ops 3 for the PlayStation 4. There was 2 copies of Black Ops and 2 copies of the Orange Box. I don't know why this was the case. She had each of them up for $5 a piece, and I got all 5 of them for $4 a piece. So crazy, because these are worth way more than $4 a piece. But I mean, nonetheless. And during that same week, my wife actually went to the States. We live here in Canada, and she found this gem of a collection, the Pokemon Collector Set, the 4-disc special. I didn't know this thing existed, but she got the seal at a Goodwill for $1. For the next item, we got this Game Boy Advance SP in Cobalt Blue with the original charger, and funny enough, a SpongeBob SquarePants the movie game on the GBA. I actually had that as a kid as well, and that was a lot of fun. I don't remember where that copy went. I probably sold it when I moved out. But regardless, this game is actually, the Game Boy is actually in pretty good quality on the inside. The outer shell here looks to be a little damaged, but the back shell is the stickers all intact. Everything looks decent on this Game Boy, so that was a good find. And because we're already on the Game Boy topic, I'll talk about this one that I got right here. This Game Boy Advance, the larger one. I actually prefer this model over the SP, even though I had the SP growing up as a kid. And we'll start off by saying this. I like to mod consoles, so I'll post a picture right here of what I actually had. So for starters, as you can see, it was a transparent shell. It had upgraded buttons and membranes, upgraded IPS screen, upgraded speaker, and it had a Type-C USB battery mod. So all of those things together I sold to actually someone I went to high school with, and he used this as like a down payment or like to take some money off, and that works out for both parties. He gets rid of a system that he doesn't need, and then I don't have to source for the new product or for the older product. On these, I just ditch everything else and just keep the motherboard intact the way it is. But regardless of whatever the case may be, he wanted to do it this one, but some of the buttons are broken on it. I told him, listen, I replaced all the buttons anyways. I'll just take the motherboard as it is. 50 bucks, knock it off your order, and both people were happy. This was actually another crazy deal, but this was a good one. We got a loose copy of Super Mario Bros. For the Wii, and the loose copy of Super Mario All-Stars for the Wii, And this one's a little weird because there's no cover art, but it is Super Paper Mario for the Wii as well. But just no cover art, which is kind of unfortunate, but it does come with the manual. I'm sure someone has a cover out there. And that, I got all of these together for $6 a piece. So it came to 18, we agreed on 20, just because it was I was just like, I'm already out there, so I'll give you 20 for all of that. And then later that week, I actually found a complete copy of the new Super Mario Bros. For the Wii. This one was kind of a bust, and I just want to mention this because it does suck. I got Harry Potter for the DVD, but this is sealed. However, when I brought it home, the seal broke, so this is no longer considered sealed. I don't know what to do with this, and it's just kind of gonna sit there. I got each of these in Goodwill, 007 and Lego Hobbit for the Wii U. I got each of these for $3 a piece at Goodwill. And then lastly, we're gonna finish up with some PlayStation 2 games. We got SpongeBob SquarePants, the movie. Oh my god, we have so many SpongeBob. I don't think this one, pretty sure this one needs resurfacing by the looks of it, but that's okay, we can make work of that. Ratchet and Clank Size Matters, this is a really good one, but it doesn't compare to the next one, Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. This was one of my buddies and I's favorite games growing up, and yeah, this game holds so many memories for me. I wish the PlayStation Network was still on so we could play it today. Alas, that's not the case, and it will forever be a piece of my childhood. I did miss two things as well. I got both of these for $15. I guess PlayStation controllers in general always are worth more than the Xbox counterparts. At least to my knowledge. I don't know if that's always the case, but from what I see it is. If you guys have any stories about any of these products, please talk with them in the comments below. It helps me, but also I love hearing stories about gaming and whatnot. This for me was the big winner because again, I grew up with this game so much. We played so much of this game, and not a lot of it was online. We did play a lot of it online, but I feel like majority of it was against bots. But I feel like that's where a lot of the core memories came from. But regardless, like this is probably the big winner for me. That, or oddly enough, SpongeBob, because this game was a super big game for me growing up too. This is actually one of my first games I've ever owned. But it wasn't on the PlayStation, it was on the GameCube, the game console that I grew up with originally. And I guess the third product, I guess we could start off, was Black Ops. Black Ops for me is another one. The same friend that I played Up Your Arsenal with, him and I played hours and hours and hours of Call of Duty Zombies. And I wish that we dived into more of the multiplayer. But regardless, we never did. This is actually a super clean copy. I don't think I've ever seen such a clean copy of Black Ops. That's actually insane. But nonetheless, that's what I grew up on. Like I said, if you guys do have any stories about any of these products below, I'd love to hear them. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys liked what you saw, and there's going to be more coming. So again, if you liked it, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of the episodes, and I'll see you guys in the next one.